everyone. Welcome to Project Learn, a Reskill and Spark initiative aiming at upskilling tech enthusiasts on emerging AI technology with the help of workshops and hackathons and building a highly engaged Spark AI community. Today, you would be taught about how to create your own AR effects on Spark AI Studio with features that enhance the experience of Facebook and Instagram users. Hi, I'm Anamika, and before we start the workshop, I would like to run through a small presentation to share the purpose, flow, application, and benefits of being a part of this program. So, as I mentioned, Project Learn aims at helping you kickstart your career in the domain of augmented reality by training you in the technology. Next slide. The program structure is divided into three broad stages. In the first stage, we will walk you through Spark AI Studio and teach you how to create your first AR effect from scratch, which involves importing assets, canvas, face tracking, patch editor, and generating test link. In the second phase, you would move a step further where we would teach you about advanced filters and share with you Spark AI policies before you can finally submit your effect. The submission of your effect will get you a meta certification and access to resources that will help you prepare for the hackathon. In the final phase, we will host hackathons at your college level and at pan India level. You would be rewarded and recognized for your efforts and contribution. Before we take it forward, I would like to invite Shikha Mehta. Shikha is a strategic partner manager, platform partnerships at Meta, and she would share her impression about the program. Welcome, Shikha.
Thank you so much, Anamika, for this introduction. Hi, everybody. I'm Shikha. I work at Meta in the Gurgaon office in India. And one of the key things that I'm focused on is the developer ecosystem and how do we leverage the products that we have at Meta to upskill some of the students out there to empower them to start their journey in the augmented reality and then virtual reality and the metaverse field. So I'm just going to briefly introduce what Spark AR is. Spark AR is essentially a free software for you guys to install in your laptops and computers. You can download it and then start building out effects or experiences around augmented reality. There are about 600 million people currently using AR on Meta apps. When I say using AR on Meta apps, for example, you publish your first AR effect, you must have been seen millions of them across on Instagram and Facebook. A lot of 600 million people are currently using these AR experiences or AR effects to build out content around the same. This includes brands, celebrities, etc. There are 4 key capabilities to the platform. Face tracking, which you will learn today. This basically means that it tracks any kind of triggers from your face. You are lowering or raising your eyebrows, you're smiling, not smiling. Then there's world tracking, where it tracks your environment and places like 3D objects in your world. Here, there was a GTA filter that did really well on the platform, wherein like somebody has conversations with the different characters from the game. Then there's target tracking, where you can scan different things. For example, a picture in your subject book, or like a poster, a movie poster, etc., or a box, for example, and things then come to life. The last one is the most newest capability introduced to Spark AI Studio, which is body and hand tracking, which tracks the movements of your whole hand and the body. So like you're moving, basically according to the body movement, there are some augmented reality experiences that you can create and share with your friends and family. Next slide. So these are some creations. I just want to showcase you some of the work that has happened on Spark AI. The first effect here is basically triggered by the sound of the user. This user initially has this like a Dragon Ball Z sort of an effect, where the user has black hair, but when they shout, their hair turned to yellow, signifying that this is something, a characteristics of the particular show. The second one is doing rounds on Instagram. You must have seen this, celebrities calling you and having a conversation with them. This is also powered by Spark AR. Next slide. So you can gamify your experience. So you can build small short form games on Instagram and Facebook through Spark AI Studio as well. Like you see in the 2 examples shown, there is one which are Q&A sort of an effects. Then you can do something around scoring. How much do you score? Sort of like a temple run sort of games in short form that you can build out on Spark AR. Next slide. You can definitely engage your communities on Instagram and Facebook through celebrating different kind of events through Sparkyar. You can also like showcase these stage sort of effects and then create content around it, emphasize any culturally relevant moments or any moments that are relevant to you yourself and your communities. Next slide. And where essentially are these Sparkyar effects hosted? Sorry. So once you build an effect using Sparkyar Studio, it finally can get published on Facebook and on Instagram as well. It, like you see on the user profile, then someone, if they create a story, it gets attributed there. Somebody creates a reel out of it, it gets attributed there. You can send it out as links and QR codes to your different community members to try it out. And definitely it sits with us in the effect library, which has millions of effects right now. And there is a very good metric system that is also associated with Sparkyar Studio, which tells you how many million impressions has your effects gotten, how many times has it been shared by other people. We've seen like a lot of use cases coming to life through folks who build out simple effects, but it gets renowned across the globe. Next slide. So why we are doing what we are doing today is that we are trying to kickstart your career into augmented reality. There are a lot of things that you can do after learning augmented reality. You can either be a researcher in the field, you can either be a developer and start building out experiences for different brands and businesses or different kind of celebrities or creators on the platform. You can be an educator, you can leverage augmented reality into the way you teach the folks. You can leverage it in identifying and solving different problems in around the company that you work with. And it can essentially be a stepping stone for you in the world of metaverse. So basically, then if you have 3D tooling sort of capabilities with you, you can use augmented reality and 3D and build something for the virtual reality place as well. This is all from my side, folks. I'm so excited for you guys to be attending this workshop today. And over to Anamika to introduce our superstar AR developer who's been working with us and different brands across the globe. Over to you, Anamika. Thank you.
Anamika, you're on mute.
Okay, am I now audible? Am I audible now? Yeah. Okay. I'm so sorry. I said so. With so many advantages that Shika has pointed out, I'm pretty sure that all the students will make most of it. The workshops here, and we had shared with you all the download link for Sparkyar Studio in the email. I hope you have downloaded it. In case somebody hasn't done it, please do it before we begin the session. Now, I would like to introduce the mentor for the session, Vidhi Srivastav. Vidhi holds a post-graduation degree in computer applications. She firmly believes in technology will change the coming world and is changing it too. She's passionate about new technologies and she loves to make augmented reality filters. She is currently working with Hashdem. I'm handing over the virtual stage to Vidhi now. Please keep sharing your queries in the chat box and we would be taking up the questions as we move through the workshop.
Hello everyone. Thank you so much, Anamika, for introducing me. So, hi guys. I hope you are excited as much how I am. So, the journey of mine being an AR developer was very interesting because it was lockdown period and I was just sitting and thinking how these filters have been made in Instagram or Snapchat. So I was just rolling and I just typed on Google. So what is how do we make filters and how it all started by that. I downloaded the Sparkyar Studio and I was just experimenting and playfully I made the filter, this Polaroid date and starting some basic filters. And this Polaroid date got viral and even it was used by celebrities. So it got around more than 50 million impressions. And I was like, wow, what is this? Let me explore it more. So then how I started exploring more capabilities in it, how it's all started and how it is going now. So later on I learned more different stuffs in it, and currently I'm having around 997.8 million impressions, close to 1 billion. So it like I made filters for brands, so they all contacted me through Instagram itself, like can we have the effect for us. So I created for Ghana.com, then Organic Harvest, some beauty experts, as well as for the PR agencies too. So that's how it all started, and then slowly I got the recognition from Meta too, that like my work was appreciated, and like the community appreciated me, and that's how it all started. And I was like, oh wow. So like it's not like I am full time AR developer. I am currently working in Hashdon by Deloitte. So since AR is my passion, so I always like to explore it more on weekends, as well as if I get time on weekdays. So it's not like it's just one career path that you have to choose. You can choose it as a part time too. So that's how I make it. That's how I do it. So I hope you guys will be learning the effect that we have here today. It is a face effect, and you guys are definitely going to enjoy it. So I hope to see you all in the next coming up minutes. So this is the effect that we are going to make today. So it is a camera style, like we have different spectacles here. Some are having the animation, if you guys saw in the first and second spectacle, and rest is the static. So yeah, this is, and we have face tracker, so there's a little bit retouching, and you can see that background is changing. So that background thing we are going to do later on, but today we are going to learn this effect today, like the spectacles, as well as little bit retouching, what is face tracker and all. So let's begin the session. I hope you guys are excited. So let me share my screen. Okay. Uh, is my screen visible? I think it is. Yeah. So once you open the Spark AR Studio, it looks something like this. But before that, guys, like, have you? I hope you guys have downloaded the assets that I have shared with you all. So once you open the assets, you have this texture folder, and these are the classes that we are going to import in our project. So let me open the Spark AR and let's begin it. So this is Spark AR Studio, where we are going to create the effects, AR effects. So let me let me run through a basic of how it is and how you are going to use it. If for the people who are first time going to use this software, so this is pretty much easy and user friendly, because it has some of the default templates that are already created by the developers there. So if you are learning as a beginner, you can just try it off. For example, this makeup patch, you can just open it and keep on experimenting it. We have this background world object, and so on. So let me go up, and what we are going to do is we will start with the blank project. So this was I was talking about these templates that are already there. So if you want to directly make the effect, you can use this, but what I feel is you should know the basic before jumping into the templates. So let me click on the blank project, where we have just one or two stuff. So I'll explain you the workflow, how we are going to make the effect today. So just a minute. Okay, so this screen will visible. Let me turn off the camera here, and I'll open it here. Okay, so this is how Spark AR looks once it get open. So you will see this big view, that is the viewport here, where whatever things we are going to add, you are going to look at here, and this is like an emulator. If you guys have worked on creating the app, so you guys have saw the like how it is going to look in your camera. So let me first integrate my camera here. I think it is not getting open or something. Okay, let me open it here then. No issues. So, see, these are like if you click over here, you will see that here you can integrate the camera. So, directly you can try the effects on your face, and here you will see the real time simulation. So, already there are some pre recorded videos on which you can just see how your effect is looking on the other person. So, you can select any of them and start building it. So what we are going to see here is on the left side, you will see this scene panel. Now what the scene panel is, it is in a form of hierarchy. The topmost parent is device. The device that we have, for example, different phones, different iPad, or it could be Android or iOS devices. Then we have the camera. So in all the devices, we have this camera that we are going to use it. So camera will be the child of device. Then we have the focal distance that as you just see, if I click on the camera, this gets blue. Then we have focal distance, and inside it we have these two lights, ambient light is directional and directional light. We are going to see this in a couple of minutes, but before that, let me explain you what this assets is. So as I have already shared the asset folder with you guys, so what you can do is you can just click on from computer, and you can directly import the assets over here. So I'll go to desktop and I'll import the files. Just a moment. So this is our workshop day, and we are going to import these classes. And once we import the classes, you will see that on the right side we have this multiple objects texture. So once you are adding any texture, it could be 2D objects, text, it could be fonts, or it could be any 3D objects. What you have to do is once you are adding any 2D text, you have to compress it, because if you won't compress it, if it is on automatic mode, it will take more time to compress. And then for example, you are testing it, so your testing will be delayed, but we don't want, we'll make it prior to none. So Android also will make it none for older Android, and iOS everything I have made it none. Now what we are going to do is we will see some more things that here you will see the pause button. So if I pause the video, so it will get paused, and we have the stop, restart, as well as if you want to search something over here. And this is the emulator. So you can set to, like, if any of the iOS devices you want, or if Android devices. And you can also set to the resizable window. Now resizable window could be like however you want the size, it could be you can keep it according to your need. Now the next thing that we are going to see is, let's see what is face tracking and how we are going to add it. So in the scene panel, there are multiple ways to add the objects. So one such way is either click on this plus, or you can just right click over here and add the object. We are going to add a face tracker. So once the face tracker get added, you will see over here the face tracker is being added. Now you can see this gray arrows here which is showing the directions. But before that, let me show you what is these symbols means. So this is for the positioning. If I want to move it a little bit on X, Y, or Z direction, this is for rotation, and this is for scaling. If I want to increase the size of my object. So now what is face tracker? The face tracker, as its name says, face tracker. It is going to track your face, your facial movements, your expressions. For example, if there is an AR effect where you are opening your mouth and suddenly lights start glowing, or it could be like, for example, if you are blinking, then the crying tears are coming out, or your face distortion, some funny faces are there. So everything is detected by your face, whatever expressions, whatever things that you're going to add. If it involves the facial expressions or movements, then you have to add the face tracker. Now inside the face tracker, we have to add the another object. Now what object we are going to add it? So before we add the spectacles, let me add this face mesh. Now what is this face mesh is? So face mesh is a 3D object. As you can see, let me pause it for a moment. And now see, I was talking about this position, rotation, and scaling. So once I add this face mesh, it is going to cover my full face that is being there. Now if I want to reposition it, for example, to X, Y, or Z direction, so I can just move it above or on right side, down side, any side. But let me undo it. And if I want to change the rotation, I can change the rotation to from here, or you can, if you have some values, you can directly give it over here. And we have the scaling. So I'm just dragging it, so you can see that size is being increased. So this is the position, scale, and rotation with X, Y, Z directions. Now what we are going to do is, if we are building a big project, then there are chances. For example, I'm adding multiple face meshes as well as the planes, rectangles that we are going to see in later part of the video. Then it will be like complex, because the names will be like face mesh 0, face mesh 1. Now what if suddenly after a month I have to edit something and I will be like, what was this face mesh 0? So you should always follow the good practices that says that you should give a good name to it. So let me give a name as retouching. Now what I will do here is, I'll add, let me play it, and I will add a material to it. Now what I did is, I added a material. The material, as you see, once I added this material will be whatever texture I'm going to add on this face mesh. So as you see, the default type of this material is standard, that is shader type. Now what is this shader type, and like how we are going to deal with this is like, if it is standard, then I was talking about these two lights. Okay, so what if the shader type is standard, these lights are going to affect my face mesh. Now how they are going to affect my face mesh, so let me show you. See, if I change the light, my face mesh light will get changed. See, because these lights are affecting my face, because its materials shader type is standard, but I don't want that. I want to make it like these lights doesn't affect my face mesh. So what I'll do is, I'll make it as flat. Now lights won't affect it over my face mesh. If you want to see, then you can just see this. If I change the color, this face mesh won't get changed. Let me give it a name over the material, retouching. And what I will do is, I'll add this retouching. Now what this retouching will make it like, it will make your somewhat face clear, hiding some of the pimples, or it could be like any of the things on the face. So let me add it. So as you can see that I have added this retouching, so already it is there. You don't have to add any other texture over here. And what you can do is, you can increase the screen smoothing. It is currently 50%, so if it is 0, you can see somewhat face like pimples, or it could be textures being seen. So if you make it 100, so it is like more your skin is being smooth. So let me keep it to 42 or 45. Now the next thing that we are going to add here is our spectacles, obviously. So I will right click over my face mesh. But one more thing, guys, if what there could be a question that why we are adding a face mesh, we could have added directly this plane. So if I add a plane directly, now what will happen, this plane is not going to move according to my face, because it is not added into the face tracker. See, let me change the face to make it more clear. So see this, her face is moving, but still we can't see that this plane is being moving. Now what, but I want the plane to move according to my face. What if the spectacles is just in front of me, but I am moving, the spectacles are still on the screen, but we don't want that. So what we will do is, we'll move this plane to the face tracker. So you don't have to do like this. You can right click over the face tracker and add the plane. I was just teaching you why we are adding into the face tracker to the plane. Now what I will do is, let me keep it still and I'll pause it. Now this plane, I will give a name, a good name. So for example, glass 1. And we are going to add this. Now what is plane? A plane is basically a 3D object which have its length, breadth, as well as height. So you can easily, like if you want to rotate it, if you want to resize it, or it also has the XYZ rotation, position, and scale. So let me undo it, and I will add a material to this plane. Now, as you guys understood that if we are going to add a material, it will be shader type as standard, but we want it as flat. So we'll click on flat, and what we are going to do is we are going to add a texture over here. Now, if you guys saw in the demo video, the two of my spectacles were having it was having some animations over there. So for that, let me first add the normal effect that we are having today. So let me add this B1 over here as a texture. Okay, now see, this is being added and it is going to move according to my face. So let me position it correctly in front of my eyes. So I click on this and let me rescale it. So I'll go to this scaling, and I'm going to give little bit of values, and I'll move it upwards. Little bit more scaling we can give. Oh, that is too much. Yes, this is fine, and we can just okay. So this looks good. Now you can see that it is being tracked by the face. So as soon as the face moves, it is also moving in a correct manner. And if you want to make it little bit back, you can just pause it and you can give little bit of okay. Now what we are going to do is this is one such face. Now if you saw it in the effect, I added the tap to change, but here what we are going to do is we will head nod it and we want the texture to get changed. So what we will do is we will add one more plane tracker over here. Sorry, one more plane over here, and let me make this video little bit still, because again and again we have to add the spectacles. Now what I will do is all the logic that we are going to add, we are going to add in the patch editor. To open the patch editor, you have to go to view and you have to click on the show patch editor, and this is how the patch editor looks. Where all the logics we are going to add in the patch editor. So this is the patch editor. So whatever the logic that we are going to create with this will be adding here. Now what I'm going to do is let me provide similarly the name class 2, and we'll add a material. I forgot to rename it, class 1, and here it will be class 2. Now let me change it to again flat. And first I'll make this glass one as not visible, because if I do like 4 or 5 classes, it will be more complex to you guys to understand. So let me reset the rotation, and I'll make this not visible first class, and it's for second class. Let me add another class 2, and what we are okay, let me add the black one. Now we are again going to rescale it. We will give XYZ values to it. Let me make it little bit right side. Okay, this looks good. Now see, you don't have to again and again add the plain material again and again. What you can do is we have a very good shortcut that's say Control D in Windows, or you can directly right click over the glass and you will add the duplicate over here. So automatically it will get added. So what I will do is let me duplicate this, Control D, and first I'll make this not visible. And for third one, what we will do is we'll duplicate its material also. So if I go here and duplicate it, so glass 3 automatically added, and we have to add here its material glass 3, and Let me change the texture. So let me give, okay, red glass. I think its position is fine. Now again, I'll make this not visible. Again, what you have to do is, again you have to add a plane, again you have to add its material. So to make our workflow easy, we'll make it as duplicate. Similarly with the materials. Now one more thing, like you can add the material directly from the assets also. You just have to click it over here and add a material, or you can directly add a plane and then you can click on the material. There are multiple ways to do a single thing. So what I'll do is, I'll make this glass 4 visible, and let me change its material glass 4 and its texture as, I think now B2 is left, no, B1. Okay, so let me resize it. Okay, let me reposition it a little bit upwards. Okay, this looks good. Now see, what I did is, I added the 4 static glasses. Now what we are going to do is, we are going to add the animated glasses that you saw in the first and the second glass. So what we will do is, first let me make it not visible, and let me duplicate it, or okay, let me show you from scratch once again for the ones who have still have doubt how I did. So we have animated class 1, and let me add its material. So we will give it name of the material similar to it, and we will add its shader type as flat. Now what we will do is, we'll add the texture. Now see, in the Spark AR Studio, you cannot import a video directly to the software. What you have to do is, you have to convert the video into the image sequences. So now wondering how you're going to add this image sequences. So you just have to go to Google and type convert this video to image sequences, PNG. You can choose PNG or JPEG in any format, whatever you like. And then the first thing you have to take care is, your file size should not be more than 4 MB if you are making a filter for Instagram. If you are making a filter for Facebook, it can be extended to 10 MB. But precisely if you are making for both, then you should take care that it should not extend more than 4 MB. So we will keep this thing in mind, and let me add. Now what if I have the image of sequences? Now what we will do? So for example, if I have a sequence where image sequence where a person is moving, so I have 10 these 10 images. Now what we have to do is, we have to import in Spark here. So we are not going to directly add a texture, because what will be a texture means there will be a single texture. But if we are adding a animation sequence, it have the multiple sequences of our images that will create the animation. That's how actually animation is being created. So what we will do is, we will right click over here. Now as I said that there are multiple ways to add animation sequence. So one way is, you can just click directly over the new animation sequence, and the other way says that you can directly go to assets plus sign, and you can directly add over here this uh, playback controller, and here you have animation playback controller. So these are the 2 ways by which you can do it. So let me make it more clear. So I'll again go to my plane, its material, and I will add an animation sequence. Now again I'm going to rename it, because I don't want to get confused with it. So I'll make the name as animation for class 1. So now we are going to add here the image sequences that I have already created. So you have to just click on new texture, and you will go to these glasses. See, I have these images from first to 48. Now control A and just open it. Now, as I already said, whenever you are adding any texture to the Spark AR, first and foremost thing that you have to do is, you have to make it compress for all these devices, iOS, Android, and old Android. So it will hardly take a couple of seconds to get loaded. So let me wait once it get loaded. But before that, I'll explain you some of these controls that are right over here. So we have these controls called loop, randomize, as well as FPS. Now wondering what FPS is? So it is frame per second. Like if I am adding 25 images, what will be the frame per second? How is it going too fast or it is going too slow? So if I add one, so it will be like 1 frame per second. So it will make my image sequence of that video look more slow. But if I make it like, if I have added 48 images and if I give 48, it will be very fast. So you have to choose a number that looks good to your animation sequence. Then we have loop or randomizer. So do you want that effect to be looped, or just you want for a single time? As you guys know, if you guys are a CS student, even if you are not, loop means what? We continuous process is being going over. And if you take on randomizer, so what if I have added a 10 image sequence, and I want those sequence to come in a random way. For example, 8 comes first, 2 comes second, 1 comes later on. But if that is fine, if you have like for example 5 completely different, for example, you are creating a video for background, so it is fine if it comes randomly. But if I have the image sequence, I won't choose random, because what if running comes first and then another person, like it will be messed up. But we don't want that. We'll make it as loop. Now as you guys saw that my animation sequence is being added, so what we will do is, as I said, you have to go to your texture, and first and foremost thing that you are going to do it, make it as none compression for all 3 devices. And it's none. Now see, what we will do is, we'll go to its animated class, and let me pause this first and let me resize it. Okay, this looks good. Let me reposition it. I think it's fine. um Anyways, I'm not able to use my camera, otherwise I would have shown it how it is looking on me. But no worries, maybe because I have added the camera over there. So if we see, it looks good. Okay, now what we are going to do is, I think position and resizing everything looks good. Now we are going to add one more animated glass. Now let me show you another way to add this. So what you have to do is, you have to go in this here assets. You have to go to the playback controller and add. Oh sorry, this playback controller is for animation. Sorry. We have this animation sequence right over here. So first let me copy this, duplicate it I mean. So we will give this, and its material also will do this, duplicate it, and here we have this animation sequence. So instead of going back there, we are going to add the animation sequence from here. Oh, by mistake I did something, I think. No, it's okay. So let me add animation sequence over here. And we will give the name as animation for glass 2. Okay. Now similarly, we are going to give the texture over here. So we will give the texture. Now one more thing, again we have to make it, if you want to make it the animation little slow, you can change the value of FPS to 7, 8, whatever, however you like. So let's wait for again a couple of seconds so that it get loaded. Then we will create a logic, like how if we nod our head and the glasses gets changed. So I think it got loaded. So I'll go to this. You can also change the name over here so that you don't get confused. Beach class. And for this one we have pink glass. Okay. So we have this each glass over here. Let me change its compression to none. And wait, let me first disable this. Now what happened? We cannot see our glasses over here. You know why? Because we have not added its material correctly and its texture. So we'll add this material and its texture as animation sequence for glass 2. Let me make it more nicely. Let me set its position. So we will rescale it. Once again, we'll go over here. And let me, oh, it's too much. I think this is okay. This is fine. Let me make it little bit left side. Okay, so that's how we have added it. Now I have already made all those planes and we can say spectacles to not visible. Then how come like by nodding the like glasses are going to change? So now see, the first part we have already covered, that we have added the assets, we have added the face tracker and added its respective spectacles to its material, its animation sequence. So if I make a little bit clear picture, so let me explain you some of the steps that we did. Firstly, we added a face tracker. What is face tracker? It is tagging our facial expressions, facial texture, as well as whatever the things that we are going to do over the face. Then we added inside the face tracker, we added the plane as well as face mesh for the retouching and all. Then inside the plane, if we let me show also while talking. So we added this plane. Now in the plane we added its material. In the material we added its texture. So this is a 3-step process. So if our texture is animation sequence, you guys saw that we added an animation sequence. Now let's create a logic for this. So I'll go to view and click on patch editor. So this is our patch editor that has been opened. Let me set this here. Now what we are going to do is we are going to make a logic where we want this head knot and the cameras should, the glasses should get changed. So let me first make all of them as visible. Select multiple and make it visible. Okay, sorry. Now what we are going to do is let me create a logic for this. So I'll right click over here and I'll add a face select. What this face select will do, it is going, as it says, that it is going to select a specific face from face finder that you want to drag. So once I add this, I'll add the face finder too. Now this is going to add with face finder. And we have face finder is going to select a face. In its index 0, it means it is going to detect the first face, whatever face that is going to come in front of it. And then we have this okay, so what we are going to add here is head knot. So I'll go over here and write head knot. Before that, let me show you what it is going to capture when somebody nods his head. So if you don't want head knot, if you want head shake, sorry, you can add head shake. If you want to add a kissing face, you can add a kissing face. If you want to add a happy face, you can add a happy face. But here we are going to add the here we are going to add the head knot, and then we are going to make these counter. Now what this counter is going to do is it is going to use a pulse signal to increase or decrease the jump to the specific number of the counter. So for example, I have you, as you can see that as for one time the person had its nodes is had, then for first thing, like it is going to give the texture that is selected for one. Then if I again do it, it means for the second value we are going to trigger it. If it is third, then for third value it is going to trigger it. So if we have, like for example, how many glasses we have, 1 2 3 4 5 6, so our max count will be 6. And from where it is going to start, it is going to start from 0. So I think it will be 5 0, no, it is fine, we have 6. So what we are going to do is we are going to make these visible. So let me add exactly equals to. Now what this exactly equals to is, so for example, if it is at first glass, so for the first glass, what value we are going to trigger, that is exactly equals to, then we will make this plain as visible. So similarly, if we have second, then we will add the second number as 1. And then because indexing here is starting from 0, just make sure that you know this, otherwise you will make your logic messed up. So if it is 0, then it is for first value, that is for first class. So we'll make it for 0, we'll make this as visible. Now what if I have another value, then we'll add one more exactly equals to, and we'll make a value of 1. So 1 is for the second value. Okay, so we have the second glass, we'll make it visible. Then we have the third glass, so we'll make it as second, and we will make it visible. Then we have, you can also copy paste it, Control C Control V, but no worries. Okay, equals to 4, so it is next class. Oh, I forgot to add this. Mm. Let me, because since my video is not working, so I'll make this one disable for a minute, and let me add a screen cap over here. Okay, so as you can see that if I tap the screen, it is changing. So I think one I have made class 1, class 3, class 4. Okay, this here 5 will come. 1 0. Okay. Let me restart it. Tap 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we'll make it had not. So again, I just wanted to check it over here because I don't know why I'm not able to switch on my camera. So we have face finder. Had not, and we'll make it visible. Okay, so I'll delete the screen tab. Now, if the user is going to head, like if he or she is going to nod his or her head, then the glasses are going to change. So like this, you can create a logic, and like since I'm not having any video where head nod is there, otherwise I would have showed you guys, and I'm not let me try once again. If I could switch off my camera and again I could integrate my camera over here. Okay. It's not working, I think. No worries. I'll show you guys like by tap itself, or we can you can test it over here. Like it's no problem. Like I'll show you with the screen tap once again. So if I have this, I'll attach it over here. So for the first value, you can see these glasses are there. Then second for this will be there. Third, this will be there. Four, these glasses will be there. And fifth, this. So if you want to keep it like this, you can keep it with screen tap. But instead of that, I would prefer the head nod, or you can make it a smiley face or any faces, because we have so many interactions over here. You can see in the interaction we have this head nod, head shake, mouth open. So if you want that, if someone's mouth get opens, you want the these things get changes, so you can add it over here. So if the user see if she has opened her mouth, the glasses got changed. So this is how, I mean, you can create a logic according to you. So if you want to keep the interactions according to your wish, you can add you can add the interactions over here. So as you can see that again she opens her mouth, and again the glasses get changed. So let me keep it as head nod, because that's what we want over here. So we will remove this as well as screen tap also, and we are going to again reset this. Now one more thing guys, you have to take care is whatever logic that you are adding on this patch editor, make sure it should be commented. Because for example, if I'm showing my logic to one of my friend, and what if he or she, like, so many logics have been created, now he'll be wondering what is this logic for, this logic is for. So as we write the comments in the code, so we have this section over here. You can just select everything, right click and comment around. Now here you can write a comment. For example, logic interaction for head nod. That's it. That's how you can add the comment section over here. So to make our patch editor more clear and more visible. Okay, so that's how we are going to create the logic over here. Now this is this is one thing, this is one first part of a workshop that we did today. So you can make it with the different interactions if you want, and if you want to keep it over here, then now what if I want to test this effect? So you is everything working fine, or I have created something, or I have made some mistakes. So here you have this test on device. Now what we have to do is we have to add the experience. Now what is this experience is about? So if you click on add experience, it's like, is it for sharing experience? Are you creating the filter for like where people can use it over reels or Facebook, or it could be like for both Facebook and Instagram, or is it for video calling effects for Messenger and Insta, or what all things you're going to add? So I'll add an experience over here. So we have this, or it is for ads, sharing experience, video calling experience, as well as ad. But I want on my Insta or Facebook, so I'll insert this. You can see this, we have the check mark if you want to select Facebook or Insta, or just for one. So I'll make it as done. Now if I want to test it, so before that, make sure that your Facebook account and your Instagram account are being connected, because if they are not, then you won't be able to test this. So you have to again do the multiple things. And one more thing is there, you have this mobile Spark AR player, so you can directly connect a cord from your devices itself to your laptop, and you can directly use it. Like you will just send it, and on your device you can just check it. So if I just send it to my device, I will be able to get this. Let it get send it to my Insta, and before that, let me don't forget to save your effects, and otherwise it will get lost and you won't be able to get it. So I go to desktop and I'll save it as workshop 1 effect. And yeah, that's it. That's how you are going to save it. And let me check if it went okay. So it came to my Insta. So I forgot to switch on my camera. Now see, you guys can see that here it is saying try preview AR code by whatever effects like this. It will be showing to you. Like if you are wondering how it will be looking, since I was creating an effect before, so there are a lot of it, but you will get only one. So if I click over here, then it will show something like you want to, by continuing it, you are accepting the conditions, terms and conditions of it. You have to make it as continue. Now once I make it as continue, then you can use your effect. So as I said that it is head nod effect, so let me try it and let me show you guys. So you will 1 2 3, okay, like this. So it is going to change the effect. 1 minute, let me take multiple of it. So like this head nod, you will see that like multiple times. Your I'll share the test link if someone wants to try it. They can try it over here. And yeah, that's how you are going to create the effect for today. And I think it is very easy. I hope you guys have understood it. So if you guys have any questions, you can ask. This was just part one. Now what we are going to do is, like, we are going to add some more school stuff, lightning stuff, kind of rainbow lightning over the background. I'll show you how you can make the make different backgrounds with the same user and same spectacles. And we are going to see how you will get, how you are going to publish your effect tomorrow in the workshop, and how you are going to how you can get the impressions, like how I'm almost going to reach 1 million. How you are going, how you can make the trending effects, your impressions, everything we are going to discuss on the tomorrow's workshop. So this is just one part. Tomorrow is something that you saw in the video also, that lightnings, my back lightnings were changing with the glasses. So these all things we are going to see tomorrow. For today, I think this much, this is fine. You can just test it, and like you can try to make the effect. If you guys have made it parallelly, then it's really good. Otherwise, you can you will get the recording of this workshop, and you can just rewatch it, and you can make your effects. You can share it over Instagram, and you can also tag me. I'll also see how you are, how you made it, and you, if you want to change that, actually you can do it. So I hope the things were pretty much clear. And if you guys have any doubt, you can just come up, and like you can ask me over the chat or anywhere. I'll be happy to answer. We can just close. Why they added by mistake? That's what I was thinking. What I added. So you can just save it, and you can close your effect. And if you want to reopen the effect again, then what you could do is you will go to your recent projects, and you will just click on this workshop one effect or whatever effect you are building on. So I think it is pretty much clear. This is how again it will look, and if you want to again see the patch editor, you can see over here. Here is our logic that we created with the head node. So I hope like if you guys want to add different, you can add it over here, and you can change it. If you want to screen tap, I think I should also keep that for the ones who don't want this. They can just, you just have to connect the gesture state to this increase counter. That's it. So yeah, I think that pretty much clear. I hope you guys have got it, how to create the effect for this. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. Like, you can ask the questions.
Thank you, Vidhi, for a wonderful session. And you're on
Hi,
mute.
Reskilll. I think you are also on mute. I'm not able to hear you.
Is it? No, I am not on mute.
Give me a minute.
Am I audible?
Oh, it got disconnected. Hello.
Am
Yes,
I audible
yes.
now?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay, great. So thank you, Vidhi, and thank you everyone for joining us on a Saturday and making this workshop a real success. I hope you have learned something from Vidhi today. We'll join again tomorrow and learn some advanced features for this AR effect. And I hope you'll submit your AR effect soon.
Yes, tomorrow they are going to learn more stuffs, how they are going to add and how their effects will get enhanced. So don't miss the workshop tomorrow, guys. I'm really gonna show you how you can have more interactive effects where people are definitely going to use it and will have more impressions over there. So,
That sounds interesting. So,
yeah. Thank you.
so thank you everyone, and see you tomorrow. I'll share the details for tomorrow's workshop over the email. Till then,
Okay,
have a good
thank
day.
you, guys. Thank you, Aska. Bye. Take care, guys. Enjoy your weekends. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.